But Hitler had hair there. I have this gap. I'm not a Hitler. Why do you keep buying so many hats? Why not? A true detective here. It's a rant, and I'm wearing black pants. There was a group of people going inside an airport. Man, I'm always talking about the silliest stuff. It was just like this. I was just joking around, like months at a time, on YouTube. Then I become like hugely serious. I was talking about like murderers and killers, that kind of stuff. It's just that you cannot really cater to everybody. Everybody is not gonna like it. It's just part of the fucking game. Some questions that are arising in my mind is that what kind of a person would be able to take a loss very, so to say, efficiently, be willing to take that loss and still win because he did so. Some people have funny names. MISSONI. How do you pronounce MISSONI? A man on a mission. A man on a mission. A man on a mission. Something about that destiny. I feel that destiny is something that you don't have full control over. Even if you make the best choices in your life, sometimes destiny comes into picture. But also, if you just live unconsciously, your destiny won't, so to say, fulfill itself. So it's a great question. Is destiny kind of like an unfolding like a flower? Or is destiny more like a toolbox? I also feel that when destiny calls, so to say, you and also probably the people that know you are going to feel at first that that's a bad road and you shouldn't take it. When you are being put on your destiny path, it's going to feel a bit uncomfortable. It's not going to feel great first. But when you have gone through it, through the process, it's going to make complete sense. This was my destiny. At the same time, it feels like you completely played it out. You knew beforehand that this is going to come out of this. The truth is you were completely clueless all the way through it. Destiny is about how you play into the picture of the universe. It's about your place in the biggest, the largest, the most ever expanding stuff. Probably when destiny has reached you, so to say, it's going to feel like you are in harmony with the universe, not a cog in the machine. Next subject, soulmates. I have said this in the past, that I think that the whole idea behind soulmates is a whole lot of bullshit. But it might also be one of those things that when it happens, just gotta believe it instantly. Like, oh yeah, it's actually true. Searching is a constructive act or waste of time. I think many people have wasted a lot of time searching for the right and the perfect job, for the right and the perfect partner, this kind of stuff. I think many people have wasted a lot of time doing that. But it's not time wasted if you learn something about yourself. But there's more to life than just learning. There's more to life than just earning too. What is that earning? Where does it come from? Yeah. What about the Hitler mustache then? Why Hitler mustache? It's actually not a Hitler mustache because, as you can see, for me, this part, it never grows hair on it. But Hitler had hair there. I have this gap. I'm not a Hitler. The Hitler mustache is great because this part, if you have food allergies, they show here usually. So you have better feedback of what you eat than if you have a full mustache. And I dig it. I feel that For an orator, so to say, or somebody that speaks, the Hitler mustache is freaking great. It could be the new hip thing to do. Imagine showing up at your workplace someday, just like Hitler mustaching it all the way. By the way, it's an Italian company and they do these interesting prints. But this hat is actually made in China. I was kind of hoping that it would be made in Italy, but for the price, they couldn't pull that off. By the way, about baseball caps. Some have the clasp over here. And if you have this on while you're lying on the couch, for example, or sleeping with the hat on, I do that a lot, by the way. This is better. This Velcro, than with the clasp, because the clasp can press against your back of the head. Versace baseball caps, though, they do it right. The metal clasp. Even if you lie down with your head like this, it's shaped so that it doesn't press against the back of the head. They thought about it. But otherwise, Versace baseball caps are not worth the price. They are like 3-4 times the price of this. It's not in any way worth it. I tried one of them, by the way. I'm also learning that if a person wears sunglasses, he's of course harder to read. That's obvious, but I also understand that the fedora hat, for example, makes a person a bit harder to read. Maybe that's one of the reasons why gangsters preferred it. Making faces. It's the name of the book, by the way. It's a really beautiful book. You should read that. This one. I read this like years ago. It was this war story where the other character, the male, went to the war and I think he died in the war, and it was just a travesty. It's kind of like amazing love type of story. It was pretty a beautiful book. I liked it. I've read all kinds of stuff. I'm kind of bummed about that. I gave away a lot of my fictional books when I was a bit younger. But maybe I had to do that. I won't give away that book. That's special. But I have kind of started to prefer books like this, like non-emotional stuff, not about love, none of that bullshit. No references to the real world, so to say. Just that's what I like at the moment. Okay, the next idea that I came up with is training, and how the idea of going through a simple training for something prepares you to be a great performer of a certain act or position in life. I feel that it's not necessarily true. And you're going there and just learning how to do it and just doing it. And that's the end of it. You did it. Now you can do it. It's not the end. You can always get better at it. You can always get better. Of course you can. Maybe that's one of the reasons that some people have kind of hard time to understand what I actually do, because it's not like that. This is not that kind of a job. Life is really not about if you can do it or not. It's also about if you should do it or not. A very unloving man. a very unloving man. Yeah, that kind of bullshit. There's this word in English called infatuation. Something like over brimming with that. Yesterday I saw a pretty wild dream. I was in this village of mine where I live, and I took flight. It was some kind of danger was the reason I took flight, and I just thought in my mind anything's possible. Full conviction, full belief. It was not even a belief. Anything is possible. There was nobody else there in my mind going like, no, anything is possible. And I flew for a long time. It was something like 2 kilometers at least in that dream. And it was a lucid dream. I was just like, this is a dream. I know, this is a dream. And I went through the process of awakening from the dream. I was like, yeah, I know what is going on. I'm gonna awaken from the dream. And I did. Or so I thought. It was another dream that I fucking woke into. And I know that I'm probably in a dream right now, too. This is the most continuous of the dream, though. When I awaken here, my hat is going to be in place. And what happened is that some young guy, when I woke, some young guy was at the door with a knife. I screamed at the fucker, like, go away. And there was a gunshot. He got shot